The Raccoon City Police Department is iconic in the Resident Evil series and especially nostalgic for me. A colleague recently told me that a fan recreated the Raccoon City Police Department in 3D and made it available for free. Massive thanks to the creator. I'll link it below so you can check it out and support their work. My inner nerd immediately lost it and I knew I had to build something with it. After a bit of thinking, I came up with Undead Fest, an annual gathering for the zombie horde. Now, this simple project took me longer than expected. What I thought would take a couple of days ended up taking about 3 weeks. Balancing work, family, and everything else? Yeah, it's a fickle beast. Let me show you how I built this, and stick around till the end because I'll walk you through the problems I ran into so you can avoid them in your own projects. First, I downloaded the project as a USDZ file from Fab. This format works nicely with Vectorworks, which is my drafting software of choice. I aligned the model, played with the scale, and got to work. I created separate layers, then built out a full lighting plot using my custom lighting symbols. After that, I imported the GDTFs and assigned them to the correct fixtures. Once I was happy with the design, I exported everything using Datasmith and an MVR file to bring all the lighting data and fixture positions into Unreal. Inside Unreal, I used my asset pack, QuickMat, a little bit of a shameless self-promotion, along with the material substitution feature in Datasmith to quickly apply textures to the Vectorworks models. Then I imported the MVR file and swapped the default fixtures with my own 3D scanned lighting models, which adds to the visual fidelity. From there, I jumped into my usual .2 workflow to patch, connect, and program a few simple lighting looks. Now came the part that took the longest: characters, camera cuts, and world building. I used Mixamo to grab a few zombie characters in animations. To keep things efficient, I only used one character rig with multiple animations: walking, crawling, and dancing. And retarget everything inside Unreal to the other zombie characters. But something was missing. I needed an iconic Resident Evil character. I had to include Nemesis from Resident Evil 3. The scene just wouldn't feel complete without him. I searched Fab but couldn't find anything that suited me. Now, this might be controversial, but I decided to experiment with AI. Tools like Meshy have been popping up everywhere, and I figured this was the perfect project to explore it. I found some reference artwork and fed it into Meshy using their latest model. The result? Honestly, kind of insane. Way better than I could model myself right now. I textured it, and it looked even better. The problem? This pose won't work for animation. And on their free tier, you don't get the T-pose or A-pose options when generating the model. So I tried something interesting. I ran the image through Leonardo AI and prompted it to generate a T-pose version. Then I took it further, adding sunglasses and headphones. Ran the process again and yeah, it worked. But then I hit another wall. Meshy's free tier doesn't allow exports from their latest model, Meshy 6. So I tried an older version. And yeah, not great. After a day or two, I caved and I got a 1-month subscription just to properly test the workflow. Now, quick note, if you're curious about trying Meshy yourself, they actually have a discount running at the moment. I'll put an affiliate link in the description, so if you do decide to check it out, you can grab the discount and it helps support the channel at no extra cost. But yeah, I only recommend tools I actually test in real projects. For speed and proof of concept, this definitely worked for me. The next step is animation. I tried animating the model through Meshy, and the results were, well, yeah. Probably my fault, but I opted for the path I knew better. So I took it into Mixamo, rigged it properly, and brought it back into Unreal. From there, I started building out the camera cuts. This step is huge. It helps you understand what your final video will actually look like, and more importantly, what you need to build. Because here's the trick: only build what the camera sees. Anything outside the frame, don't waste time on it. Once the shots were in place, I started placing characters and animating them using the Mixamo mocap I downloaded and retargeted earlier. The environment was still a bit empty, so I added a few Megascan trees and plants, along with some nanite grass from the marketplace. I also used William Fouch's Easy Fog to add depth, and then refined the lighting and background elements. After that, I rendered everything out, brought it into DaVinci Resolve, added music, sound effects, color grading, and some creative cuts, and ended up with this cinematic. Am I happy with it? Absolutely. Is it perfect? Not even close. Could it be better? Of course. But considering my current skill level and the goal of learning new tools while producing something I can actually present, this is 100% a win. Things I learned so you don't have to. If you're using multiple moving heads in Unreal, you might hit this issue. It's likely related to gobos or how many are active. Fix? Use the console command lightfunction.atlas.size space 5. If that doesn't work, increase the value incrementally. But keep in mind, this can impact performance. Swap your fixtures before you start tweaking them. I made the mistake of adjusting positions, patching, and optimizing, only to realize I hadn't swapped the fixtures yet. Result? Had to reset everything and redo the work. Don't be that guy. Mixamo auto rigging isn't perfect. You'll notice some stretching, especially on the face. Fix? Take the model into Blender and clean up the weight painting. I didn't do this in the end, but it is worth mentioning. I also had to adjust the pivot before rigging in Mixamo because the pivot was in the center of the model. I also had to increase the import scale in Unreal. Not sure why, never had to do that before. This one drove me insane. Only the first shot in my cut would render. Everything else got skipped. It still went through the whole render process, but these frames simply went into the void. I tried adjusting the frame ranges, exporting as EXR, nothing worked. The only solution was to render each shot individually. Not ideal, but it worked. If you know how to solve this, let me know in the comments. Speaking about the comments, if you have any questions or ideas for future videos, drop them in the comments. I read as many as I can and they really help shape the channel. Thanks for watching, and as always, imagine, create, and see if it goes boom.